Hey guys, it's Bug. Welcome back. Welcome back to my craft room that is 10 degrees hotter than the rest of the house, which is nice in the winter, but not so cool in the summertime. I want to thank everybody for watching my recent videos and commenting, sharing your ideas about some of the projects that I've been doing. It's been really cool to get some feedback on my videos and the projects I'm doing, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you. Now, today we are going to create this little chipboard album. This album is 2 pieces of chipboard. We have some paper inside, as you can see, and some book rings. And then I have a piece of cardstock with some magnetic strips so that it stands open this way when you want to display the front cover. And then it also this magnetic flap will close in like that if you want to store your book, you know, when it's not the season. And then also this is set up so that the front cover flips back. Oh, these rings are a little small, so I have to be careful about this. I talk about that in the video. It magnetizes like this for display, and you can continue to flip your pages throughout the season. Now, this is, I'd referred to what this project was going to be as an Advent calendar. It's not so much an Advent calendar where you get, you know, a piece of chocolate or a prize or something every day throughout the season, but it does have little pockets on each page. Of course, they're pretty tight, so you could easily put a little note in here of little ideas of family adventures to take during the season, or different projects that you're going to do on the different days. You could even put every day somebody has to pick one, and every day, you know, it's a chore to do. Nobody wants that. You could also, if you're, you know, really fancy, put gift cards in here. But what I did is I created this kind of based off of the May Made It calendar that is also a mini album. This is designed so that you can put a photo, you can kind of slip a photo back here and create a little photo album. And you can also either do journaling on the back or use the back for photos. I didn't put anything on the back side at this point. You could definitely use a double-sided cardstock or use, you know, something else to cover the back portion. You know, even just use your place photo here stamp, and so people know, you know, that they can just put something on the back of those pages. This is really set up so that you can have both sides displaying. So if you were to create something like that, I think it would be really super cute to put some photos so that each day, if you're doing your countdown the next year, you can see photos from the previous years. So here's the book. It really is just based off of that one cut apart sheet in the Merry Christmas collection. I show you those pages, and then I had some extra of the pages in the collection to use as the backing papers, and I try to just kind of mix them up a little bit. But each of these has the little pocket, and excuse me. And some of them you'll see I used a circle punch rather than a square. The circle punch is for the images that are just the numbers, and then each one I put on top of a piece of glitter cardstock. So that glitter cardstock was really easy to punch out with a punch. I'm not sure how it would do with a electric die cut machine, but I'm pretty sure that it would use any manual die cut machine. It would cut out pretty well most of the glitter cardstocks. So here we go through 13, 14, 15. I know that there are a lot of Christmas packs, Christmas cardstock collections that do have like a cut apart of numbers for an advent or countdown calendar. And you know, of course, this is a project that could translate into any coordinating cardstock. I had extra of some of these pages, but even if you didn't have something like that, you could easily do sticker numbers and plain cardstock, or, you know, decorator cardstock with different numbers. It would also be cute, you know, to do a 1 through 31, and you can flip it every day for the day of the month, and use it as kind of a rotating calendar. So that way you could do, you know, whatever you like behind it, if you're into florals, or if you, you know, have some crafting paper that you really like. I think it would be fun to have one at my desk that was made from the Craft and Create paper pack. A lot of different things that you can do. If you are making little books like this that are like countdown or flip albums, let me know. Let me know of what papers you like to use, if there's anything in particular, or if you'll be making something like an advent or countdown calendar this year. Let me show you how I did it. So this project starts with some of the sheets from the Merry Christmas collection from Carta. This is the Merry Christmas, Not Very Merry Christmas. And I picked up some extra sheets of these, or I had some left over from a previous collection. So what I ended up using is this sheet for of the cut aparts. And then I used an extra sheet of this for some of my page backgrounds. I think I ended up with 2 extra of these. So if you have one collection, you may want your background pages to be just plain cardstock, or some other coordinated cardstock that you have that matches this collection. Then I used this sheet, which is the Christmas prep sheet. It's got this guy on the back of it. So I used a couple sections of this. Then I used this blue snowflake. This one is just called Snowflakes. It's the one with the music sheet on the back. And then this snowflake, which is called Christmas Snow, and it has this design on the back. So I started out with 2 pieces of chipboard cut down at 6 by 6, and I actually started with 6 by 6 chipboard, so that part was easy. So I went ahead and cut some paper for the insides of these pages, the front cover and back cover, at 5.5 by 5.5 And then I cut a mass of white cardstock, 25 sheets of white cardstock, and these are 5.5 by 5.5. And after those are cut, I cut the background page at 5.25 by 5.25, so that it has about an 1/8 inch border around on each side. And once I cut apart this sheet, I did a couple things. I matted each of these on a piece of glitter cardstock. So you could do this, I think it would be nice on a piece of black cardstock or vellum, whatever you have that is a contrast between the actual square number color and your background. And so you'll see I have here, these are on gold paper, and the ones that that had other information in them, not just the numbers, I kept as a square. And then some of the other ones I kept and cut down with a circle punch, and then another circle punch behind it with from the silver glitter cardstock that I have. Now, of course, you can do these with punches. Of course, the squares you can just do with your paper trimmer. You could do this with your die cut machine or a die, if you have a manual die cut machine. And then I just went through and I staggered the background page. And you can see these are in order. So I used the different colors, or the different pages. And got all 25 of these little squares onto the corner of a page. Now when you adhere down your little square or circle, what I did is I went ahead and I just adhered it on two sides. So the right side and then the bottom. That way, in my head, you can take pictures all season long and put photos in there or different ephemera if you go on a holiday trip. And then it is just automatically transitions into a photo scrapbook. So for these also, here is how I did my front cover, and here is the back cover, and I'll show you how I did this. Okay, so now that we have our chipboard with the holes punched, we're getting ready to make the back cover, which includes this little magnetic strip to hold it open on the table when you use it. So this is one piece of black cardstock that is 2, 4, 6.5 inches long. I have a 2-inch section here and a 2.5 section here, 1 inch, and then 1 inch. And so this is 5.5 inches long, so you'll see I have about 1/4 of an inch on either side, and I just lined up that first 2-inch score mark at the bottom. So what we're doing here is we are going to create a system where we can just put, this is a piece of magnetic sheet. So this is the kind that you might use when you are putting your dies in envelopes. Let's see here. And so what we want to do is these two 1-inch sections here are going to create almost like a little pocket or a little flap. I'm going to put this inside So we would have our magnetic sheet section here, the inside back cover here, and this with all our little folds will be here. And so when we close up our book, we just fold this inside, and of course we would have our rings with our pages here, and it'll close up that way. But when we open it and we want to use the book, we are going to open it this way. And so now we have that magnetic part that is going to come back this way and magnet onto the inside or the outside of that front cover. It's actually the inside of the front cover, because if you have the front cover this way, there's the front of it. You flip it around, and this would be the back of the front cover. And we're going to put another magnetic strip here so that it will hold and stay open. All right, so I'm going to take off the backing of this one. Try to even it up. This is a 5-inch strip of this magnetic sheet, so there should be about 1/4 of an inch on both the right and left side. I'm just going to fold it under, and then we'll glue the edges up in just a second. So now you want to go ahead and lay this down on top of this. Take the backing off, and we'll do the same thing here. Just fold it over and adhere it. And now they're both facing the way we need them to be. And now we have a couple of things to do. We're going to take our art glitter glue and glue up the little bits of the side here on both sides, down the middle. Adhere that down. I'm going to go ahead and do it on my work surface. I think some glue might be squeezing out of the sides. There we go. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and put the inside back cover in. So we'll go ahead and glue this. Again, this is a 5.5 inch square sheet of cardstock. So it should have about 1/4 of an inch frame all the way around it. There we go. So there's that. Oop. And that'll, you can't tell, but it'll stick. And then now we have this piece. And here's our front cover for when the book is closed. We will open the book up like this. And it'll be just like this. So I'm just going to go ahead, I took the backing off of that magnetic strip. I'm going to line the top and bottom, or the left and right, of my chipboard to this sheet of chipboard so that it is aligned. And I'm going to, let's see, I am going to, so it's adjusting to the magnet that's underneath it. I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to do it like this. So there we go. Once we get those rings in there and the pages, it is going to stand flat. Okay. So now we have our back cover. Here's the back. Here's the inside of the back cover. And we have the front cover. This is the front, and this is the inside of the front cover. So I am just going to glue this on here, something like this. You will be able to see this little piece of magnet, but no one's really going to be looking at it. So. Ooh. And again, should have about 1/4 of an inch border around all the sides. Of course, if you're using not black chipboard here, then this magnet might be a little more noticeable. And of course, this is just how I'm doing this one today. You can put a single strip of paper or even ribbon or whatever you like and put some magnets in, and it should hold open and hold closed. This is just what I had on hand, and so how I'm doing it today. In order to make sure that my holes were all aligned, I did take a blank sheet of cardstock. I lined up about about an inch in from each side and made a mark, and this looks like it's about 1/2 an inch down from the top. Of course, these will sit in your front and back cover a little lower, so I also cut the chipboard assuming that I would have this little border of the chipboard around each of my sheets. So then I just went ahead and used my template to punch the holes. If you've ever tried to use one piece of paper as the same as a template, sometimes the holes grow a little bit because you're off a little. So I used a different sheet of cardstock that wasn't part of my project for that. And now all you got to do is add some book rings. So the ones that I have here are pretty small. I think these are 1.5 inch. I used 2.5 inch, and I thought that they were just a little too big. So I'm going to get some 2 inch, and probably that'll be what I go with. But for now, for display, just putting these through here. And I just had to be a little more extra careful when flipping the pages over with these smaller rings. So I'll show you that in a second. From the back. And now you'll see that it can stand like this if you have it out before December or after, and you're not actually using the countdown. Thanks for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you make something like this, leave me a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hey guys, today I'm going to take you through how I created this flip album. Mini chip clips.